On this week's Weekly Raw Dog, what we're going to cover is choosing the right self-defense or home defense weapon for inside your home, right? So in this scenario, we're going to say that you're actually breaking, a threshold of a door and you're going to attack the threat versus sitting inside your room and waiting for the threat to come through. So we're going to give you some considerations as we run through this. This is very raw, very quick. It's not meant to be perfectly tactical. This is more or less going to be more like the layman's terms of it. So I have a Glock 45 here. I have a TAC 14 Remington. I have a Mitchell Defense 16-inch AR with a suppressor. That's very standard. Most people do not have SBR, so we're going to use 16-inch because that's what most people have, and then an 18 or 19-inch Beretta A300. So all these weapon systems are very possible. They're also possibly very common for most people to have. So we're going to start with the pistol. This doorway here is your standard size, usually between like 28 to 36 inches, depending on where you live and how old your house might be. Myself, 6 feet tall relatively, is I'm able to fit shoulder width through here. So we're going to try and show you what's the easiest weapon system to come through. So how we run each one of these, we'll do it dry. The first time we'll load and then we'll do live fire. So the first one here, this is with a pistol. So we have our threat that's over here on the left. Okay, so I'll have to obviously come through the door. So let's say my pistol is out, maybe I'm scanning for threats. And now what I should do is, as I scan for threats, is shoot that target from inside the door if I know I've got a bad guy. But we're going to assume that you don't understand this concept. So I don't know, I can't see the threat. I come down and I come into the threat. And as soon as I step out the door, I shoot it. Now this is more like solo. There's nobody else. It's just me. So what's that look like under live fire? So we're just going to do 3 rounds to actually stop the threat. We're not going to, blow them down with a whole entire mag or anything like that. But, granted, in the situation, how some people might be, will be a full mag. All right. So like I said, we would assume that, you're not scanning for threats. You come through the door. All right. Shoot our target and the threat's down, right? So, that's the pistol. It's super simple. You'll notice like here, so I'm in. I break it down and I come out the door, and it's very easy for me to do, right? It's a very small weapon system, small hallways. It's probably the easiest one, I'll tell you right now, out of all these to move through your home with. So we're gonna go right into, let's say if I was gonna pick one other than a pistol, okay? So this is a 19-inch shotgun, right? See that? So why this matters, because if you don't understand the concept of breaking down your shotgun, like going to a high port or coming up over your shoulder, okay, imagine cracking one off with a 12 gauge from this position. And you could do it with an AR, you could do it with a pistol, but imagine cracking one off right here with a 12 gauge. So we'll run this here with the shotgun. It's empty, we'll do it dry. So, let's say I can't see a threat, I would break it down, come out the door, and I can see them, right? So, in this case, it's not a blind scenario. I understand where it's at. So I know I've got a threat there. Maybe I'm hearing them running through my stuff. So we'll load up a couple rounds and run through this real quick. This is buckshot, double aught. So, like I said, so I can't see the threat, I got a door. I break it down, come out, and I'm on target right away. So the shotgun is very, very effective, especially at this range. I mean, here, I didn't even have a perfect shot on the first one. And in fact, something to make note of is, I'll fully admit it, the red dot's not on, right? But on our target, that's a dead bad guy with no red dot at this distance. So it's a very, very easy weapon system to use. So we'll go into the AR. Using the AR, so let's say we have a sling. Let's say you're in your home, you're not gonna use your sling. Let's say you're not gonna do it. That's not, you're not trained to do that, you're not familiar with it, whatever it might be. Okay, we get a mag.
Forgot his ammo. Collins with the ammo.
All right. All right, so we have our AR platform rifle. Again, 16-inch gun. I do have a suppressor on here. It's a Sierra 5, so it's about 6 inches long. Not super long, it's not too bad, but again, see that? So the overall length on this, even with a suppressor, is relatively the same as that shotgun. So take that for what you might want. This has a suppressor. and it's a 16 inch. You go to 14 and a half, you go to 12 and a half, 11, 10, something like that, you could, and it's collapsed. Like I said, we're not gonna use our sling today. We'll do a dry run with the AR. With all of these, you notice I have a weapon light on them, right? You need a weapon light on your home defense gun. It's paramount. So let's say I don't know where my threat's at. Scan the door, I break down, I come out, and there's a threat, right? So not too much to it. Pretty simple. Now we've run this a couple times. I'm gonna do it with the AR. All right. So, like I said, kind of scan the threat, come out the door, I'm breaking down, come out. And it's very easy to get on target with this weapon system. It's super simple, it's accurate, and very, very effective against really any kind of threat. Body armor, no body armor, clothing, whatever it might be, versus some of the other ones aren't quite as good. Granted, know your target and beyond, or whatever you might be shooting at. We'll do it one more time with the AR. Again, no sling. I don't know where the threat's at. I'm not scanning the door. I don't know what I'm doing. Break it down, and I come out the door, and it's very easy to get on target, especially with a red dot. For myself, I'd pick this over the shotgun. For the average person, to give you my recommendation, a shotgun is a very, very good idea for you. Now, I'll get into what I think personally is my least favorite, right? And that's this little booger here. So with this Remington TAC 14, it's obviously very small, right? It fits in here, no problems, no questions asked. There's some things to talk about when you're using something like this. Now, if you come up and you try and do this, you're gonna punch yourself right in the face. It's gonna knock your teeth out, right? It's a 12 gauge. That won't feel real good. So open chamber here. Again, we're gonna assume you don't know what you're doing. You're not clearing, you're just breaking down maybe, and you come out. So this is where you're at right here. Like, does this feel like you're really aiming your weapon system? Who knows where this threat's at in your home, right? There's not really a good way to aim this. That's why I really don't recommend these for home defense. Are they usable? Sure. Can you put a laser? Yes. Right, so point shooting here, just 2 rounds on a pump shotgun. You can see, you know, Remington is really good at their coatings. The shotgun came out of the safe, had oil on it, and it's got rust all over it. So great job, Remington. So, like I said, again, we're not really gonna clear the doorway like we should. We come out, it's small. All right, now let's show right here, look. So this is what's important. I'll show you on the target now. We're all kind of finished up, right? So, this is our buckshot from the first one with no red dot, right? Basically, it wasn't on. So a complete miss with this the first time. And the second shot hit up here. That's with the TAC 14. The AR, I mean, your AR, they're all center mass with the AR. The handgun is relatively all center mass as well. And, you know, like I said, this target we shot a little bit before, so that's something to take into consideration. So if I was to give you my recommendation of the top choice, it's your handgun, then it's the AR for me. If you know how to use it, you know how to operate it. For the average person though, the shotgun like that Beretta A300 is a really, really good option. Like I said, this is the wad hitting here, and then you have some pellets in here. So very, very effective. You crack one off on a 12 gauge with a buckshot inside 10 yards especially, and you're hitting here, you just took out a lung cavity, you took out the ribs, you stopped the threat, I'll tell you that much, right? So those two can be interchangeable depending on the user. And then this right here, I just don't recommend it. It's just not, it's a bludgeon, right? It's a bludgeon. It's not a scalpel. It's not all that effective, especially if you're not really aiming. You got an aiming laser, it could be good. But guys, you disagree, you think this is stupid, you don't like anything I said throughout this raw dog. Like I said, this is very rudimentary, very crude, meant to be just for the layman, right? So let me know your thoughts. Give me what you think is a great home defense solution for you.